I've seen a lot of things that I understand that in terms of the transgender community, it does feel like it is a little bit more, a lot of people feel like it's a little more trivialized, and there wasn't a good representation of it, like making a whole song about vaginal plastic, which is 8-year making joke or light of something that is like a pretty serious operation for a lot of trans folks. And on the other side of that is the Mexican representation, and that it is so inflated that it doesn't feel like it's grounded in reality at all. And in fact, it's not grounded in reality whatsoever in its background because it's filmed or it's shot in France.
We are the
Get Reelisms Podcast.
I am Adam Chase Ren.
And I am Christine Chen. And surprise, we're both filmmakers.
We get into it by sharing secrets, advice, and gossip in filmmaking.
And we even get our other filmmaking friends to share theirs too.
So please, everybody, join us for
an ode to filmmaking.
Wow! It's another episode of the Get Reelisms Podcast, episode 165. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Adam Chase Rennie.
And my name is Christine Chen.
5 hours of sleep, y'all. We're doing it. We're doing it. Christine,
why'd you get 5 hours?
Oh, it's just been averaging 5 hours of sleep lately. It's just kind of the new thing. It's not a new thing.
Norm?
It's a new norm for me. Christine, what's going on with you? What's been happening?
Oh, just some fires and stuff.
Yeah, more people putting up fires.
Day in LA, just random people putting fires because one isn't enough. Let's just set a bunch off. No, luckily for the most part, the majority of the Palisades and the Eaton fire are pretty much controlled, and it's raining this whole weekend, so we like this in LA. It's great. I think LA hasn't looked forward to rain in so long. I think everybody is just happy that there's rain.
Yeah, LA should rain more.
Yes, and so there's that, and of course, 2 fires also started. Hughes Fire, I think is what it's called. That one I think seems to be an accident. And then the Sepulveda fire was definitely an arson job. And I definitely was on driving when I saw it. And I was like, what the hell? Yeah. So I don't get why people do this. It's so dumb.
Just starting fires. People are crazy, I think, and living in LA with how expensive it is and its infrastructure. Yeah, it just gets even crazier. And then you're not guaranteed that you're going to have your home anymore because it feels like these fires are a regular thing. Like every year feels like there's some fires going on in Southern California. If it's not LA, it's, it's somewhere maybe outside of it or one fire inside of it.
Yeah. So that's about it. It's just been getting into back to a swing of normalcy. Normal, and then normalcy. Yes, and then yesterday I spent the whole day watching movies. I hadn't done that in a while, but that's what happens when one of the movies is 3.5 hours long.
Yeah, that's the unfortunate part. There is something I do want to talk about though, but I want to ask: have you been on any gigs lately that you want to talk about?
I was working on a short film last weekend, which was lovely. I was acting in it and other things. Cool. But we won't mention the other things because it was non-union. And it was great. It was a solid short script, a really good script. It had won the Shore Script grant, so that's how they funded it, was through that. Very good script, very good acting, and a fantastic director and great crew. That's like a win all around. You don't get that very often these days.
No.
Yeah. Usually it's great crew, terrible script, or mediocre script. Not terrible, mediocre. Or like good script, bad crew. But to have it all encompassing like that is
that's
exactly
nice.
What you want.
Yeah.
It's so nice. And so the script was a look into mental health, but in very fun, very hilarious written. The director wrote it. Eddie, he's at Sundance right now, but he's fantastic. It was about like a Cuban family and how first generation immigrants don't believe in mental health, basically. Yeah.
That's so true.
Yeah, they're like it's just white people shit. That was totally a line in there. So funny.
I love that.
And I can identify that.
Yeah, me
I
too.
don't have to be Cuban. Just like first generation immigrants in general. It's not if you're Cuban or what. No, it's just if you're first generation and your parents are immigrants. This is a true factor for most of us, is that our parents don't believe in mental health at all. They think it's all made up. So yes, that's what this short was about, and it's very funny because there's aspects of it that I don't know. Like, my parents aren't religious, but in this story, the mom is super religious, and so there's that element, which is really fun. And she's always, don't take the Christ name in vain. And it's just, I don't know, it's a very clever script. And there's a part in the script where the director plays Jesus, which is even better.
That's hilarious. That's awesome.
Yes. So it was very fun to watch Eddie direct as Jesus, like watching the monitor as Jesus, and it just gave me lots of joy. Just being like, there's Jesus. Yeah.
Jesus came back as a director. Wow.
Jesus came back as a director. That was so funny. Yes. So I love moments like that. And then my friend was the producer on it. I still interviewed and all that stuff, and they picked me. But there were no favors. But it's really nice when you're working with people that you enjoy and as well. So yeah, it was a great set. It was a nice way to get back into 2025. So I had that one. This was right after I don't know when the last time was. Did I talk about that I was a translator on a food docu-series gig as well?
No.
Okay.
No, I don't think so.
Okay, maybe that happened afterwards. Yeah, that was my other gig that I started off with, which I'm very grateful for. It was for Eater, the food blog. Eater.
Oh yeah.
Yes. Yeah. So I
didn't know they do film content. That's cool.
Yeah, it was. They do like docu-series type, mini, like YouTube type.
Yeah.
Type thing. And then this one was highlighting a Michelin star restaurant in Temple that from a Chinese Szechuan chef, and it was awesome. It was awesome because I didn't have to do any like actual hard labor, like crew work. And
no, you're just asking questions.
I was just translating.
Yeah, or translating. Yeah.
Yeah, and so when they were all rushing to set up shots and stuff, I'm in the back eating food. I'm like, I don't believe that this stuff should go to waste.
Oh, man.
I am going to eat this $1,000 king crab.
Yeah.
I'm going to eat it.
You should find more chefs to speak Mandarin to, just so you could be a translator the entire time. Yeah,
I would be totally okay with this.
Oh, you guys setting up the next shot? Okay, I'll be back here eating.
I'll be in back. Yeah. I'm just helping out with cleanup duty. Yeah, so that was a nice gig too.
That seems like a chill gig.
Very grateful. Yes, very grateful, universe. Please send me more gigs like this. So I was very grateful to have that as my first. That was my first official gig in 2025. So
I will say the funniest thing about you, Christine, is that like you are the most easiest person to please. As long as there's food, doesn't matter what food. By the way, it's not like Christine's picky, y'all. As long as there's food, like even if it's like cheese and crackers, she'd be like, "Ooh, okay," like she'd lock in.
I know.
Christine's
like,
pro snacks. we love stuff. Just pro food.
Feed me and I'm happy. Like that, and I don't understand why this is such a difficult concept for men to understand. Yes,
no, but here's the thing. In fact, I think I love food too much, just based off of how I look. I don't know how you eat as much as sometimes I do.
I'm religious about working out because of the possibility, because I want to eat more. That's the whole reason why I work out this much, is so that I can eat the quantity of a full-grown man, or maybe more. So I work out. That is the only reason. It's not because I want a six-pack abs or anything. It's so I can look the same
and eat everything.
Eat twice as much.
I do a fair amount of workout, but I guess it's not enough. When I say workout, like I'm taking like walks and stuff. If I'm not on a shoot, I'm like back home walking around. I'm with the other middle-aged people in my neighborhood. You know what I mean? I'm just like power walking with them. Hi, Carl. Hi, Susan. You know?
That's funny.
It's fantastic. But
I work out 5 days a week.
no
Yeah.
way. Really?
Yeah, 5 days a week. Yes, Roxy and Casey. Yes.
Oh my
5 days a
gosh.
week.
And
Yeah,
you have a
so
gym membership or you do it at home?
I do it at home. I have a Tonal.
Nice.
And now this is an ad for Tonal. Just kidding. It should be because
Please.
it's just at home. It's one of those things that looks like a mirror.
Yeah.
It, like has weights on it. I think I've talked about it before. So I have absolutely no excuse. I like wake up immediately and walk blindly to the Tonal basically and get started. So,
Right when you
it's
wake
4
up, you
times.
just roll out of bed and you're like, time to work out.
I just like wake up like a zombie or like a vampire.
At least
I
that's.
did this morning. I already worked out. Yeah.
Oh, but you're not the person who needs like coffee the first thing in the morning.
No.
Like you're, yeah.
Train myself.
For me, I can't even be human if I don't have coffee.
You got to train yourself. You got to wean yourself off that stuff. So no. So
Nah.
I only drink coffee on special occasions, and it's so special that everybody knows when I drink coffee because they can feel it.
You're
They're
just,
like, please don't drink any more coffee. Yeah,
you're just you have the ability to stop time essentially.
pretty much.
Oh, there was something else I was going to ask you, and now I forgot. But the translator gigs seem like they're pretty fun.
That was awesome. They're like, hey, if you want to pitch any, I need to write some pitches for them because I'm like, oh, food and so I will pitch.
Let's keep this going.
I have so many ideas. Yes, so many ideas. I actually need to write a few pitches so I can pitch them and see if I could maybe. I'm like, can I do some stuff? Because there's Austin's like food scene is ramping up. Every time on IG, I just see new places pop up like crazy, and I'm like, I need to go there too. I need to go there. And
Yeah.
so, yes, I need to make a few more pitches so that I need to create my dream job. So, which is just eating.
So now Christine is not on her narrative directing arc. Now she's just going to be doing food stuff.
General. It's great. Yes.
Honestly,
Why suffer?
yeah, exactly. If it sounds like it's fun, and if I were able to speak another language, especially Mandarin, and Mandarin is a very useful language nowadays because before TikTok was
Yeah.
supposed to be banned, there was going to be Little
But
Red Book.
I'm finally like actually make use of my Mandarin. It only took me 39 years.
Now I'm useful.
Be used for my language skills. Really, I booked 2 gigs that were specific to the fact that I can speak Mandarin here in LA.
Right.
You know? And that's been my 15-year career of film. So, yeah, isn't that crazy?
That is actually nuts.
Yeah.
But
Only took
here's the
me-
thing, though. Here's the thing, and I meant to tell you this before, but since you can speak another language, you can go to China. You can go to you can go in the
Yeah,
film
I would
industry
like to.
and just start doing gigs there, dude. How
I
crazy
love
would that be?
That's why I got part of the reason why I got my dual citizenship to Taiwan was with that in mind of, hey, I know that Taiwan is trying to ramp up its film industry and stuff like that. So
I didn't know
be
that. That's actually
the
cool.
forefront. It is because they actually have I believe it's a Sundance branch in Asia and it takes place in Taiwan.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
So it's like
they're
the film
trying.
capital of that?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
So they're trying. I have no clue who or what who I need to go be friends with in order to be considered for any of that stuff. But I did interview for a possible directing gig that is a pairing between Taiwan and LA. But it's very early stages. Like they only have a synopsis basically. They're not even a script yet.
Oh, got it. Okay.
They're already talking and interview. I'm like, wow, that's really early, but okay. So yeah, so who knows? I'm hoping this will open doors. It couldn't close it. There should be more opportunities because not everybody speaks. And I know for a fact there are that many Mandarin speaking directors because nobody who's a first generation immigrant wants their kids to be this. So the ones that power through and fuck up their relationship with their parents. There's very few of us
Yeah.
willing to do and make that sacrifice.
And now you're just leading the charge. You're just
Leading the charge.
you gotta. I'm sure there are probably some American Mandarin speaking filmmakers. I'm sure there are some.
I met a Taiwanese grip on
Oh,
this
fun.
past set. I
Nice.
was very excited. We chatted and I asked her like, how did she get into film? Are her parents mad at her? Yes, her parents are mad at her. It was great. But she was born in Taiwan. She didn't do film until she moved to LA. She basically was looking for a job that she could just get into and fell into gripping. Yeah. And yeah. So I thought that was super cool.
God.
So yeah. So I was like,
Anybody
oh my
who
God.
falls into gripping, like I got to give praise because gripping is like the most labor intensive.
Oh, she was.
G&E is
jacked.
just labor intensive. Oh,
Jacked.
you're carrying
So-
C stands and lights. Yeah, no way, dude.
I haven't seen. There were like veins popping out of this gal. I was like, holy
Sheesh.
crap. Yeah, I was like, what? She was like 0% body fat. Basically, it was pretty amazing. To watch her.
Y'all have always been cool. Okay. That's all. I get Christine to China and Taiwan. She's got dude.
I gotta bridge the gap between Hollywood and
Can you imagine though? That would be awesome.
cool.
If you will be the bridge, the rainbow bridge to Taiwan filmmaking and LA filmmaking, that'd be
Love
cool.
that. Yes, I would love that.
Speaking of movies, do you want to talk about Oscars or do you want to move on to
Sure,
other
yeah.
stuff?
No, the Oscars. Since I spent 5 hours yesterday watching movies, we might as well talk about it.
Might as well, right? Okay. Oh, whoops. I thought I can share my screen.
this-
Okay. Can you see my screen?
I do have a project coming up later this February that I get to direct that I should be prepping for called Yokai. So I should throw some love to it. It's based off of Japanese history, which is very exciting. I'm loving this new wave of, I would call they're like genre bending films. This one is like fantasy meets history meets drama meets adventure and stuff like that. And I think this is the way to go. And I was already seeing it with Get Out and stuff because people more and more so don't like to learn. And so you have to hide your vegetables type thing. And
Sure.
I feel like that's what these kinds of films do
Uh-huh.
is that you are hiding important bits of information in unassuming genres. And so in this case, it's about the Japanese internment camps and the history of Japanese internment camps, but it's hidden in like a Harry Potter-like story because they're going from the future and they all got wands and yeah, it's cool.
That's awesome.
The way to do it. It's
Yeah.
you know, that Get Out hiding a message about microaggressions and racism, but in horror, right?
Yeah.
And we attempted to do that with Ursula, with feminism, but in adventure, and it was a mixture of a bunch.
It's
of
an
things,
amalgamation. Yeah.
but, like, it's several things, and so yes, but I think that's the way people are able to digest information.
Yeah.
Okay, this is a nice segue.
Sure.
The Substance is
Film of the year, right?
yes.
Film of the year.
Substance is like that. Yes. That
Incredible.
is a story of feminism of very cause-based, has a very distinct messaging, but it's hidden in a film that has horror elements to it, but a body horror, physicality aspect. It's got a little bit of throwback as
Yeah.
well, period. It's awesome. I really enjoy it. And there was another one. So that one I watched the day before yesterday. I also watched Emilia Perez.
Mm-hmm.
Also similar genre bending type film.
Mm-hmm.
That one is a musical. However, the context of it touches transgender rights. It touches those problems in Mexico or It was yes, and then
Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah.
yeah, and then talks about just what's it called when people pay you and it's bad under the table. Christ, I'm dumb right now.
What do you mean?
Cartel type stuff.
Yeah, cartel stuff.
and-
Yeah.
Yeah, and so just I don't know. It's really cool to see that kind of a Sicario film essentially, but in a musical stand, and I can see
Yeah.
it being a way more easier to digest than pure drama. So,
Yeah. Have you been keeping up with the controversy of Emilia Perez? There's quite a bit, and it's a good segue for the Oscars. But basically, Emilia Perez, and I've seen the movie as well. It's on Netflix. I've seen a lot of things that I understand that, like, in terms of the transgender community, it does feel like it is a little bit more. A lot of people feel like it's a little more trivialized, and there wasn't a good representation of it, like making a whole song about vaginal plastic, which is you're making joke or light of something that is like a pretty serious operation for a lot of trans folks.
Oh, yes.
And on the other side of that is the Mexican representation, and that it is so inflated that it doesn't feel like it's grounded in reality at all. And in fact, it's not grounded in reality whatsoever in its background, because it's filmed or it's shot in France. It's not really filmed properly in Mexico proper, which, for better or for worse, like, as long as you have a good story, it should just supersede that. But for me, I feel like the story forked and it went into multiple different directions. Like, it felt like the movie had 3 different endings, in my opinion. Like, even like after the transitioning, I felt like that was an end. And then getting the kids back, and then the mom is trying to figure out her life again. I just feel there was so many key characters that it didn't have a cohesive narrative flow with it, because at the end of the day, it's about her, Emilia Perez. And yeah, the songs and musical stuff, like, I didn't know it was a musical when I first watched it.
I had no clue. Again, on my trend of not reading about anything and just showing up. And
Exactly.
Yeah, I was like, oh, okay, yeah.
And listen, it's been nominated now, which is a good segue for the Oscars. It is nominated for almost everything, literally everything. Screenplay, picture. We could go through it. So here, I'm sharing my screen. You can probably see it, right? Or wait, hold on. Sorry.
No,
It's on. It should be on Discord.
There it goes. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
Yes. Let's go through this.
For actor in a leading role.
I haven't seen yet. That's on my list. That is produced by an Austin filmmaker that I have had known for a bit. Which is amazing.
Really?
Yeah. So
I didn't know that.
Yeah. Sings. Yeah. So Monique Walton. So the story of Monique and we met at a Film Fatales event when they were trying to start it in Austin in 2000 and I think like 2015. And it's since the organization has since moved past Austin, because at that point when they started, there were not enough filmmakers that had done features in Austin. And so that's how I got to meet Monique. But it's amazing that Monique produced this film Sing. So I'm very excited to see it. Let's see. Wait.
Yeah.
Let's go. Let's see what we have. I haven't seen A Real Pain yet. The Apprentice is insanely good. Definitely should watch that.
Okay.
I have not seen Wicked yet.
Oh, you haven't? Oh my God. I never even seen the Broadway, and this movie made me cry. It is, I don't know if it's like the best picture, but it is a strong movie. It is a fantastic movie. So we got the actress Cynthia Erivo from Wicked, Carla Sofia Gascon, who was a main character, the main lead of Emilia Perez, Mikey Madison from Anora. Have you seen Nora?
So good. Anora's excellent.
Haven't seen it yet. I got to see Anora. And I'm Still Here, Fernanda Torres, supporting role, Monica Barbero for A Complete Unknown. Have you seen The Complete Unknown?
I really enjoyed it.
Really?
So so
have you listened to Bob Dylan?
I personally am not a huge Bob Dylan fan.
Neither am I.
Yeah, but I was just amazed by how they were able to talk I like the theme that they explored of
Yeah.
that he went in because he wanted to explore this part of music, folk music, but he also, and I feel this in film a lot, where an artist just wants to explore another way of telling a story, essentially, whether it's music or through film, but they get criminalized because it's not pure to whatever genre they started in, and essentially, and it goes against the whole reason why that artist was an artist in the first place, which is just to explore and create and tell a story. And
Convey the pain and sadness. Yeah.
convey the pain, yeah. And I, on a very small scale, felt this when doing just Urzily, because the distribution company was mad that it was so many different genres, because it was hard. And now I understand, having gone to AFM, that it is very difficult for them from a marketing standpoint to utilize all the past marketing ways of doing things to market something that is mixed, because you run the risk of alienating your pure horror fans, alienating your pure comedy fans, alienating your pure. So that's why people are so against mixed genres, because they have extreme loyal fans that are there that only want a certain expectation, and people hate. Some people like surprises, but the majority of people don't like surprises. They like things as expected. That's why people love black and white. They love having an ending. They love being able to follow a thread. They love structure. And when you deviate from that, it throws everything off balance and freaks everybody out.
Right.
Because people don't like thinking outside the box. In general, people like predictability, which is so funny, because you get the people who complain about, why are there 8 million Spider-Man movies and stuff like that? And it's like,
we asked for them
because we are asking for them by consuming it.
Yeah.
Because from a statistical standpoint, if the majority of people want to watch this by showing up at the theaters, you're going to keep getting that stuff. And that's just how it works. And being on the other end, and so this kind of goes back to the Oscars, because people have asked me, who do you think is going to win? And my response is, there are films that I wish will win, but having been on the voting side of things on a small scale, I helped to vote for the DGA Student Film Awards.
Oh, cool.
And the one that I was like, this gotta win, it is amazing, it transcends, didn't. And a lot of people who were voting were shocked. And what we were realizing was because it had too many polarizing votes. It had a lot of extreme votes of, we love this film, but it had enough people who were like, offended or didn't love it at all. And when you have extreme polarizing votes, that film doesn't make it to the top 3 or top whatever.
Sure. Yeah.
What happens is the films that get consistent mediocre votes wins. So then you end up with a film that is just consistently mediocre, and because it doesn't offend anybody, and that is usually what wins, because that's just how voting works. And
but that's not film. It doesn't feel like it's cinema. It doesn't feel like it.
Right.
You're not challenging those
correct.
boundaries.
And so,
Like you said with Get Out, right? Get Out was,
Yeah.
it twisted that horror genre that I'm sure horror aficionados were not really on board. And I know some people personally who are not on board with Get Out because of that reason alone. They were just like, oh, it didn't do the normal horror tropes but that's why I love film. That's why I love cinema, is that if you can challenge that genre and you can make a story essentially unfold and make sense in a horror landscape, or like a horror lens, I would say, you're giving more of a creative spin on a genre that ultimately has not really had a lot of creative spins for years.
Right.
Famously, because it's horror. It's very one beat. And horror is almost like comedy in a way.
Yes.
You don't want to offend anybody, you don't want to do but good comedy challenges those things, especially comedians too. So like when you have a good comedy movie, it inspired something probably outside of comedy that works inside of comedy. I don't know if that makes any sense, but like you just have a story. Yeah. And it just works in a comedic sense. Like another good movie that I like to point out, one of my favorites of all time, is Shaun of the Dead. It's a zombie film. At the end of the day, it's a zombie film. And you would think that it's like, oh, it's going to follow the same horror tropes of zombies and stuff. Not really. It does in certain circumstances, but it's more of a love letter to zombie films than anything, because it had its own comedic spin to it. And that's why it's like one of the best comedies. Even though it's a horror film, it is a horror film. It's still hilarious from beginning to end, and still is.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's interesting. Moving on, animated features. Have you seen any animated stuff?
I've seen Inside Out 2, which was excellent.
Wild Robot's good.
I haven't watched most of those.
I haven't seen Memoir of a Snail, but I've seen all the other ones. I've seen Wallace and Gromit. I've seen Flow. I think Flow is going to take it. Because it is so... The animation is different. The story is different. And again, it goes back to the same thing of animated stuff where it doesn't feel like, oh, it's animated. Oh, it's for kids. It's for a specific audience. There's there's no dialogue in Flow at all. It's just about a cat just trying to survive. And you follow this cat for the next hour and a half. And it's just a phenomenal film, in my opinion. I do think
I need to see it.
It's really good. Short films, animated short films.
Into that, yeah. So I was gonna say, to go in line with films that are polarizing and stuff like that. That's why I feel like the film that will end up taking it is a complete unknown, because it's not polarizing at all.
Yeah.
It's your pretty standard. It's a very good film, but it's not only is it a good film, but it's also a good film that's not polarizing. And I've seen this in Film Prize. You know how, in Film Prize, it's always a film that is like a good film that doesn't offend anybody. That was it.
Exactly. Yeah.
So it's the same thing.
But don't you feel like, though, that like film is supposed to, is this going to be a controversial take? I hope not. But basically, like, isn't cinema supposed to be somewhat controversial?
Yeah, that's the thing, is that that's not how voting works, though.
No.
Or that's why there's always a push to diversify the members who are voting.
Sure.
To try to make it so that there are different.
Yeah. With film, I do think that it is just best to be controversial, because you only can push ideas so far that if everybody likes it, then then there's really not much of a discussion, right? You know what I mean? There's really not much of an argument. So, yeah.
Yeah, in general, but that's just unfortunately, how voting works, is that when you average things out, if you have a film that has too many polarizing views, they end up averaging to be mediocre, like below mediocre, because then you have somebody who's a 5 and somebody's a 1, you're going to get like a 3. You know? But if you have enough people who believe this one film is a 2 or a 3,
right,
that's going to average out being slightly above the other one. So it's just how, unfortunately, how it works. But yeah, no, I agree. I think the purpose of film, and just the purpose of art in general, is to make us question things, is to make us think or I just really see something in a different perspective that you otherwise may not have been able to receive because of your preconceived views and notions, and it like weasels itself in there type thing. So I think that's the fun part about art, is making people want to have a conversation about it, whether it's in completely controversial and I hated this film or whatever it is. It at least got you to talk about it type thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's the point.
Yeah. Is that. But yeah, no, I'm surprised and happy about a lot of the films that have been nominated this year, in terms of there seems to be a nice variety of let's look at the best pictures.
Yeah.
A nice variety of films that are trying to push the envelope a bit.
And I think that's what film should be. So you want to go through the best picture before we head out?
Yeah, we'll end it on the best. But
You have seen Anora.
yes.
You have seen...
I've seen Brutalist.
Have you seen Conclave?
Yes, I have.
Okay, Conclave is pretty good too. I really liked it.
Pretty good film.
Dune Part 2, fantastic movie.
So good.
Emilia Perez,
I haven't seen Nickel Boys.
I haven't seen Nickel
Those are
Boys
2
either.
films. Actually, I haven't seen Wicked either. So there's 3 films I still need to watch.
Substance and Wicked. It's funny because something about all of these nominations, I feel like not many people talk about it, other than Wicked is like the only one that I hear normies
All
talk
the
about.
time. It's the
They're
whole thing.
talking about it.
Normies.
Yeah.
Yes.
But for us, for filmmakers, we've seen these
We're
movies.
talking about The Brutalist. We're talking about
Yeah.
I've heard lots of talk about The Brutalist. A lot of people talking about Nora.
I haven't really I think I can't rent Brutalist yet, can I?
I don't know. I watched it at
You
the
watched that at a
DGA, so
screening. Yeah.
yeah.
I missed the Brutalist screening. I think it only played in like a few screens here in Austin, and I missed it because I was working. But yeah, definitely want to watch it for sure.
Yeah. It was good. It was a beautiful film.
Yeah?
Cinematography wise, beautiful.
Adrian Brody killed it.
Yes, Adrian Brody killed it.
Okay.
Yeah, but I wouldn't say I loved it, but I think that's a taste thing, though. That's not necessarily because it's not a good film or anything.
Mhm.
I think I enjoyed The Substance more
Oh,
because of the buttons that it pushed.
yeah. Yeah.
And I loved the very distinct choices it made with style.
Hmm.
I really loved the topic a lot. I think especially a woman who's now going to be middle-aged.
Yeah. What I love about The Substance the most is that how the director, Coralie Fajot, I think that's how you say your name. I didn't notice until the second time I watched it. Like all of those sexy shots of Margaret Qualley,
Yeah.
like when she first began. Those shots are mirrored at the end when she became Monstro Ilizasu. You still see the butt shots, you see the legs, you see it. It's just her as a monster. It's the best. It lives rent free in my brain. I think that is the best of just like seeing the distinction, because there was someone on YouTube who did a frame by frame of like what
comparison.
Of those comparisons, and it's just like, oh, that was completely intentional. The director absolutely knew what she was doing. She knew that, okay, we as a society sexify all of the people that we see in front of us. We still have the same lens in this New Year's Eve show at the third act of the film where it's just a bloodbath. I think it's fantastic. Top down.
I loved it. I just thought it was just very smart writing.
Oh yeah. And Dennis Quaid
Yeah.
playing as literally Harvey Weinstein is fantastic. Even the first shot, I knew we were going to be in for a ride. Like even in the first shot of Harvey coming into the bathroom and Demi Moore's like hiding in the bathroom, and you see him go so close to the camera while he's like peeing in a urinal.
So great. Yes.
It's just, and then him chewing all that food, eating crawfish, and like spitting in the noise. Honestly, that's scarier than any of the other scenes. Like even the monster scenes. He's just this disgusting man, just eating. That's it. He's just eating, and it's just gross. Anyways,
I think it was just such a fun commentary of, look at you, and you're the one who's judging these women.
yeah.
And look at how disgusting you are, yet you have been given this position for some reason of judging
because
women's body, which
exactly. Because in that scene, she's literally like having a conversation with Harvey, and Harvey is like saying, "Oh, times change, and when you get older, things just get." And then Demi Moore's like, "Things get what happens?" And he was like, "Oh," and then an agent comes in, and he was like, "Oh, George, oh, I gotta run." Okay.
I love that the detail of every meeting we see is a bunch of the same old white men.
Yeah, just gross, like dumb white men.
Yeah, dumb, gross white men.
Yeah.
Because that is how it is. Yes.
Yeah, and just being objectifying everything they see. Yeah. Fantastic. I'm glad we're on the same page.
It's a solid list of films.
I think it is, but I have a feeling that Emilia Perez might win. To be honest, I have a feeling. So? I think Emilia Perez might win.
I feel like it's polarizing enough that people. I think it might. I feel like, sadly, Wicked might win.
Oh, sadly, I would love Wicked for Wicked to win. Yeah, because I think Wicked is a very masterful. Like when I think of a musical, I think of Wicked. Like the first thing, like before Wicked, it was like Hairspray.
Before I judge it, I just need to watch it.
You gotta watch it, dude. Yeah, I mean, because I don't listen to Ariana Grande. I'm not gonna lie, I don't really listen to her, but she killed it in this film. Yeah. She absolutely killed. I think she's fantastic. She's a good actress.
Yeah, I need to just watch it.
Yeah, for sure. And I think it's coming out on streaming soon. But yeah, I think we touch on it. We can touch more on it, but just to save us for time, we can do it probably in another episode.
Yeah. Wait, scroll down real quick. I actually didn't know. I just want to see. Okay, let's see.
Production design.
They did.
Yeah.
I thought the substance would.
I know. I would imagine the same thing. The production design and the substance is colorful. It's magic. It's so good.
It's magical. What the hell? Okay.
I haven't seen any of the live action short films, unfortunately.
Sure.
I'm a bad person.
Okay, Dune makes sense. Yeah, Emilia makes sense. Wicked, that makes sense. Okay, all that makes sense.
Sure. Visual effects, Alien Romulus. I like the visual effects from Alien Romulus.
Yeah, Romulus is really good. I haven't seen Better Man.
Neither have I. Dune Part 2, I think is pretty good. Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes
I didn't even know that.
Interesting.
Is it?
Well, because why Kingdom of the Planet? Why not Rise of the Planet of the Apes? Why not War for the Planet? My favorite ape film was War of the Planet of the Apes. Or no, I'm sorry, Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, which is the second one.
Right.
And I felt like that should have been nominated for awards. Now it's nominated? Like, all right, that's interesting.
Be a nod.
It's just probably a nod. Sure.
Hey, we should have nominated you for past years type thing.
Which is insane. Yeah, because I love the new Ape movies. The whole Ape trilogy, the latest one, is amazing. Like I would never have thought, because Planet of the Apes was such, like, my dad liked Planet of the Apes, like the old Planet of the Apes. So like I would imagine it would be boring. It's not. It is so good. So writing for adapted, Complete Unknown, Conclave, Emilia Perez, which, by the way, Emilia Perez is nominated for 13 Oscars. So
holy shit.
I think beat Roma, because I think Roma was the last one to be nominated the most in a single Oscar award season. And then there's Nickel Boys and Sing, which I would feel like Sing could have a huge potential for winning, because I feel like Sing is highly regarded. And you like the film too.
But no, I haven't seen Sing Sing yet.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you said you did.
Yeah. I haven't seen Sing Sing or Nickel Boys yet.
Yeah, so
I have the screeners. I just need to go watch it. Maybe that's what I'll.
You just got to put in the time. All right, so writing original screenplay: Honora, Brutalist, Real Pain, September 5th, and The Substance. In my opinion,
The Substance.
I think The Substance, yeah.
It was just so it was so cool.
It's so original.
I haven't heard of September 5th, so I don't know what that is.
I honestly have no idea what I've seen the name. I just don't know what that is. But yeah, The Substance is. Although that could change. I might watch September 5th. But yeah, that's it. That's the end of the page. But
well, I guess that's our conclusion before we jump on to.
Yeah, those are the Oscars. I know a lot of people. There's been lots of snubs. We don't need. We can get into the snubs in another episode. But yeah, we have watched or seen all of these nominations, and yeah, pretty cool stuff. Was there anything you wanted to add before we head out?
Oh no, just if you haven't yet, make sure to subscribe to us and also consider our book, Get Realisms, and also our children's book, and the baby book for the we're still going by our motto of trying to demystify the filmmaking process by bringing you this podcast so you can learn from other people and hear about our stories and hopefully give you inspiration to make your own films. To be able to do that, we need people to continue watching and sharing. So yes, please subscribe to our YouTube. We also have most of your podcast subscriptions like Spotify and Apple Podcasts, the usuals. Please also find Get Realisms and tell your friends. And if you want to be on a podcast, please let us know. Just DM us.
Yeah.
And we'll...
You're working in film, we want to talk with you.